Welcome back, folks, to another episode of the High Tech Podcast. This is one of your two co-hosts, William Illingworth, joined by my co-host, Joshua Swartz. And co-host, I said that 3 times at this point. I don't know if I should say it any more times, but it's good to have you here with me today, co-host.
It's good to be a co-host. You know, that's the this is the new thing. What's up, folks?
Yeah, it's another day, another time. Podcast. All the fun things. This is episode 225. We've had a run of guests, which we're a little quiet on for a while.
There was a pause for that for a while. For a while, Will and I were just like, we want to hear ourselves. You know, that was kind of where we were at. You know, we were just like, we think we have a lot of interesting things to say. That was kind of the decision. No, it was really just because we were kind of being lazy and weren't really pursuing guests that much.
I prefer to say busy. You know,
yeah, well, yes, we were
structured
very busy.
Procrastination.
And then we had a moment where we just like had this moment where Will and I just came to agreement, and Will just like went off and started finding more guests again. And it's been a beautiful world. I like it this way.
A whole new world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To do that without
try not to sing ever again, but I've said that like 6 times on the podcast. Folks, this is exciting. We are coming up on the end of 2025. This episode itself is 225. That's fantastic. So much is in store for 2026. It's not really the end of the year episode, but that is coming soon. So look forward to us wrapping up 2025. We're going to take a few weeks off in December, and we'll be right back with you on January 6th, 2026. Until then, let's do the usuals. Make sure follow us on all the social medias at High Tech Podcast or at High Tech Pod. I am starting to use our Reddit account. If you're a Reddit user, jump on over there. Find Reddit. Me at High Tech Podcast is the user account there, and I'm just engaging with folks in podcast and in structural design ed tech. So we have a guest coming to us in January from someone I engaged with on a random forum in.
Oh, is that from a forum?
Not any of the ones that we're recording here in 2025, but I'm lining somebody up.
You're lining somebody
at the top
up?
of the inbox at the moment to join us in January or February of 2026. So it's pretty exciting time, but make sure, go follow us on the socials, engage with us, Instagram, X, Reddit. There's a TikTok account. I don't think we do anything there. Threads, etc., etc. Yeah. Most importantly, YouTube and Spotify. If you follow us there, that is the big thing that us as content creators need and helps us grow our reach so that more folks can engage with and enjoy the conversations. Or if they don't enjoy them, rant at us and engage with us at the inbox, which is inbox@hightechpod.us. If you don't like anything we've ever said, find us there, slide into the inbox, let us know what's going on. If you want to come on the podcast, sponsor us, challenge us on something we've done. This episode is about agentic browsers. So if you're tired of AI, just let us know at inbox@hightechpod.us. And then every single one of our episodes, all of our affiliates, which is growing for 2026. Very excited for all that. We'll have more in the future. But all that information is on our website, hightechpod.us. So head over there, find all the episodes, all of our affiliates, all the good things. All right, Josh.
Before we get too far into the event of this episode, Will... Tank or not?
He remembered. He remembered. As soon as he said before, I was like, oh no, what's coming? Oh, smack. I mean, this is just really like, if this is zoomed in like 100 times, the quality of the photo that was taken sucks. Listeners, if you're not watching, go watch. But if you're just listening, that's respectable. Steve, love you. Hope that you're having a good drive to your work today. Anyways, on the top left half of the image is greenery in like 6 pixels.
It could be anything. You don't know. Horrible. That could just be like a really green painted background.
And the bottom half of the picture is what looks like a tarp. Frankly, it looks like a boulder covered in a tarp. And so the real joke on me would be that the green is a tank and the gray is like a rock or something that Josh zoomed in.
Ooh, that's a new tactic I could take.
That would
make the tank look like it's nature. That would be...
Oh my God.
That's my new tactic. Or is it something I already did?
I don't believe this is a tank, but I have actually... Like last first time we did this, I was so proud. I was excited. I nailed it. Like I told you, it was a car with something on the roof. I have no idea what this is. I just don't think it's a tank.
You don't think it's a tank?
Let's see. What do we got?
Any changing opinions?
Oh, smack.
It's a tank!
It's a futuristic tank. Holy crap. What?
It's a museum
Is this
tank.
like, did you take this picture or you found this picture?
No, I resorted to finding some online. I did not see any tanks in the wild this time, so I tried to find something that was not like default color tank. And then I tried to zoom in on a part of the thing that didn't look like a tank. That was the new tactic.
You got me.
Yeah.
You got me. That's 50%. So I've got one win, one fail.
Yeah. Now, as I'm looking at this, what I should have done is like zoomed in here. Just like
this, I probably still would have. I would have voted tank on that.
Okay,
like that there is very like. Well, and actually that's the Humvee behind the tank, but I still would have said tank.
Just a few ideas, you know. Okay, so
folks, I hope you enjoy looking at this and getting nauseous with me.
Thank you for the
watching
memories
on YouTube. Oh, thank you for the memories, and thanks Steve for saying that.
I felt like this is a thing that needs to continue, tank or not. So
perfect. Yeah. I need those laughs. All right, folks, we're doing it. We're doing agentic AI browsers. Now, it's not just agentic. Like, I think AI browsers.
Yeah, I think AI browser is probably the broader term we probably want to use for it. Yeah.
Right. I think we're gonna see and learn about some agentic tools that are happening there. But before we do any look-see, right? Let's just give a second of background. Browsers, of course, are Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, etc., etc. My college roommates, including Josh, even into most recent years, have very regularly sent me a meme over the years comparing me to Internet Explorer. There's plenty of fun jokes out there about all the browsers and their different experiences and stuff. But, you know, if you're from the early 90s in the internet and the early 2000s, you've got Netscape, you've got Internet Explorer, you've got all those early ones. Opera has been around for a very long time. But with the movement of AI, we've seen brand new browsers hit the market. These browsers have never existed before. There are browsers like Brave and Chrome and Firefox that are starting to roll AI features into the browsers. But the first one we're going to look at today, Fellou, and potentially another one by Perplexity. I think you called it Comet, correct?
It's called Comet. Yeah, Perplexity's version of AI browser that they released a little bit ago is called Comet.
And that is Comet with a T, not comma, like a punctuation mark. But both of these browsers are specifically built to be AI browsers first and foremost, right? So you can, if you're experiencing a browser telling you, hey, turn on AI now, or Google Chrome wants you to use Gemini and everything, like you may already be familiar with that. We're going to put those in their own category, right? They're browsers already, and now they're starting to use AI. We're just looking at tools that were built from the ground up as AI browsers. And Josh and I don't use these ourselves yet. This is going to be a little bit of exploration, finding things out as we go. But we want to be able to kind of reference this technology because it is something that you or your mom or your grandma might accidentally download and like not know what's going on.
Looking for comments and they accidentally download AI. Real quick before you jump into your browser and we look at your browser, I used Comet to do one thing. Why is it saying welcome to Comet? That's not what I said. Okay, hold on. I'm sharing the wrong thing. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'll make sure to take note that the real share is happening at a different time.
I used Comet to find the meme we were talking about, which is our favorite. Just since we're talking about browsers, I think it's good to look back at where we came from. The classic meme, Google Chrome, what are we? And all the other browsers say browsers. Internet Explorer says nothing. It says, what do we want? Fast internet. Internet Explorer still doesn't respond. Google Chrome says, when do we want it? And Internet Explorer says, browsers. That sums up our feeling about Internet Explorer. Edge has gotten better than Internet Explorer, when the bar was that low. Anyway, let's go.
Amazing. And that was used against me for many years because my team, my college roommates, including Josh, felt that I was a laggard on some tech things. So they would
just some things.
Regularly give me that meme of like, okay, Will, browsers. Anyways.
Browsers.
The real meat and potatoes of this episode. Let's throw this up.
Yeah, and I think it's also worth saying right now that Will and I planned to prep for this episode more than we did. So
don't break the fourth wall.
Well, no, I want to break the fourth wall because I think it's important for us to talk about this for a second, right? Okay. So like Will and I have not extensively tested both of the ones we're probably going to talk about in this. So really what this episode is you learning with us. We're trying things, we're exploring things. I think the general sum up of this, Will, while you're bringing up Fellou, is AI browsers in general, from my perspective, there's several things they do, right? They integrate an AI solution into the browser itself. So instead of like looking things up on Google, you're directly interacting with an AI model to look up things, right? And you have some kind of like assistant access immediately in the browser. So instead of having to like go to gpt.com, you're opening up a browser that automatically has AI built into its function, right? And then the other, I think, big selling point for a lot of these is basically like agentic features, which is that these browsers can go do things for you. So for example, a recent conversation we were just having about this on the education side is like literally students could use these browsers to do discussion forums online. Like they can have them. I don't like to bring up a negative use case immediately, but like that's just, it came up, right? Like sure. I've heard of people using AI browsers to book flights, like literally having them do the flight booking for them, all of that type of stuff. Like it can literally go and act as you on the internet through the browser. Yeah. And then also read all of your active tabs. So some of my team has been playing with Gemini's built-in features in Google Chrome to see how it's reading like course development stuff they're doing. Like those types of things, right? So like what it basically does is it like all the stuff all of us know how to like the fancier stuff of connecting things. For those of you who don't want to go down that road, a browser is kind of a way that you can inadvertently connect AI into a lot of what you're doing because you're using your browser for so much. Like that's generally the idea behind an agentic browser concept. And there's a bunch of them out there. Fellou is just one that was recommended to us, which is why we wanted to explore it a bit. And depending on how far we go with Fellou, we also really like Perplexity as an AI tool, and they have one called Comet that I've heard some good things about. So this is an exploration episode live with us and our thoughts. So you're definitely going to want to watch the video version of this because there's going to be a lot of us like talking about what we're seeing in the video. Yeah. So
and literally screen sharing it as we work through what it's capable of doing. All right, let's put this bad boy on screen. So I actually literally registered for this and put it in place and didn't touch anything. So I wanted to go through its little tutorial, and ironically, it's only 2 steps. So hey, I'm Fellou Agent, your AI companion. I can always press the tab button on my keyboard to search bar to chat with Fellou. That's step 1 of 2. Cool. So let's hit tab, and then it's saying press enter to give me this task, right? And so it auto-generated a task which says open Twitter. That's funny. And tweet that you're using the Fellou AI browser. That's actually really funny.
I mean, this kind of feels like a genuine task that should happen.
Yeah. Now you're using the AI Fellou browser to publish this post and include relevant hashtags. All right, so press enter to give me this task. I'm going to press enter. And it's telling me that it's taking the deep action. I can invite other friends to use Fellou. It wants me to bring other people in. All right, thinking. It did the effort for me. Here's a breakdown of your task. Open Twitter, publish this. So navigate to Twitter or x.com. Click on the tweet or propose. Step 2, input the content. I'm using this. Step 4, click post. And then the last thing here is to run it. So let's just try it. I'm going to try running. I'm not signed in, so I think it's going to have to stop at some point and get me to sign in. Do I want to allow... See, this is... And we're doing it all live, folks. Do I want to allow public and private networks to access
Will's
this?
entire computer's about to get, like, screwed up.
No. All right, say I'll let it do it. And like I expected, it did stop me. So we've got to get some Twitter info together here. Could not log you in. Please try again later. So it's just not working. Great. I will cut this whole portion off. And we will not deal with X not working. So great. You know, you gotta make sure you're logged into things if you want to get these things to work.
Yeah, so key is like the browser element of this too, as Will's working on this, is that it's going to be able to do a lot of stuff because it has your logins to all of this stuff, right? So this is one of the toss-ups. This is why Will and I, honestly, as much as we play with AI, have not played with this nearly as much. They're doing it on the live on the episode to kind of experience it, which is because Will and I are probably a little sketched about the level of access that some of these tools get to all of your account information through the browser stuff. It's not necessarily like a bad thing per se. Like it's, this data is in your normal browser, you know what I mean? So it's not like that's not existing. And if you're paying for one of these tools, like Fellou does for point here, it is a costly tool. Comet, I don't know how much its total cost looks at. It is cheaper than Fellou, but it's not quite as I've heard, it's not quite as intense as Fellou is. Fellou's a little bit more for like the professional who would like to use it. You can see Will has like a credits 1985. It's the amount of credits he has up there. So that kicks into here, but it connects to a lot of the account stuff that you have. So this is a big thing about this. If you're going to want these AI tools to be able to do this stuff, it means you're giving access to credentials and things for a lot of what you do. And I know some people, namely Will, might have some concerns about that overall. But he's doing it anyway for the sake of all of you.
Well, and I'm using the High Tech Podcasts account, so it is what it is. But good thing to know, folks, if you want to follow us on Instagram, our connection there is High Tech Pod, not High Tech Podcast. So Twitter wouldn't work, and I don't know why. I don't care. We're not going to troubleshoot that live. But here I am signed into Instagram. So let's go back to this quick tour thing where it's saying, hey, it wants to try and take effort on my behalf. So I'm going to close out this thing. I'm going to go back to quick tour. Where do I prompt it again? Where'd the prompt go? I said hit tab, and I hit tab, and it's not there. New tab? There we go. That's it. All right. Post to Instagram that we have joined, that we are using at Fellou AI. Let me go over here to another tab and check to make sure that that's the actual Fellou AI on Instagram. Maybe they don't even have one. We'll find out shortly. That is it. Cool. We're using Fellou AI with the High Tech Podcast. All right. Enter. So this is great. I thought I was just posting that straight into their function thing, but it didn't work.
Oh, you put that into their Google. I wondered if that was technically what you're doing.
/ for commands and this for context. So Fellou. There we go. And then this. Right, there we go.
Okay. There we go. So it's trying to do
So I had to get this to go. The user wants to post a message, right? We're using Fellou with High Tech Podcast. Switch to Instagram tab. Look for and click create. Select this. Input the message we're using. Review the post content. Click share post. Let's see if it runs because I am signed in. So it's going to try and take this effort on my behalf. And like Josh was mentioning before, I know I use Bitwarden for all of my credentials. Credit cards, private notes, et cetera, and please don't try and hack me. You suck if you try and hack me. Anyways, all that information's in there, and so if that data was available to my browser, right, it could buy me a flight. I might have my passport information in there. I might have my credit card information in there. I might, and it could go to Delta Airlines and buy me a flight from Harrisburg to Florida, right? If I just asked it to do that at a specific time and day. So this is demonstrating what it's doing to do all of that, right? It's going through the steps and it's discussing with me. It's giving me its breakdown, what its efforts it's trying to take to do this. Now, I've encountered a technical interface. I expected this personally. The system is expecting a photo or video upload, and we don't have that. So what do you want to do? Do you want to skip this, or are we done with the task? So it's, it's not perfect. Twitter is the better option because Twitter allows for text-only posts. I don't have the other one set up, but we don't have to keep fighting with it to see if it's going to work or not. What's cool is it can take these actions if you're set up correctly. So clearly, wow, wait a second, that's cool. For a second there, it was trying to show me what it was going to do on this page on behalf of my action. There you go. It is pulling like a little arrow across and saying like step 1, it would have gone here. Step 2, it would have hit create. Step 3, it's doing the effort in front of me. So if I just have something that I can upload to here, it might move through, or it's kind of just showing it like almost like a scribe or an IORAD, frankly. It's trying again. It's trying to do this effort again. Okay. That's kind of crazy, though, that it's doing this. I don't like it. Stop task. I don't like it. Anyways, all right, that's the tour of what it can do in the sense of like taking action for social medias and stuff. We've got a sense for what it could do for flights, purchasing if you put in your Amazon. I don't know. Is there something? Let's see. Would you like a summary of the blog post about Fellou AI? Yes, let's take that summary.
Yeah.
So here's a summary of the web page, a quick tour. It's just funny because it's a pretty short page itself, but it's saying it's got cross-platform deep search. So if I ask it a question about LinkedIn, other things like that, it'll give us all the information. It can take operational tasks like it was trying to show us. It could post to Twitter. It could post to Instagram. If we gave it like a picture or something ahead of time, it would be able to do that. Notice it's referencing Notion. Example tasks include summarizing product hunt info in Notion.
It does. All of these love Notion. Most of the brains behind them end up liking Notion. Yeah, I've thought about that. Well, actually, okay. Let's do a live test here for a second. So open up our Notion account.
I'm so scared of this.
Right?
Go to Notion.com and try and
go to Notion.com. Let's get this puppy open. Let's get ourselves logged in.
Scared. I'm so scared.
I got some ideas.
Okay. We have Notion up and going. We're logged in successfully. No password hiccups while we did that. What do you want to try to have it do? Should we ask it about content in our databases?
Yeah.
Should we have it try and take action on our behalf?
So why don't we let's try to have it do an action on our behalf first. Look, first of all, let's ask it if it can find our, what do we call it in Notion? Sorry, give me 1 second. This is, normally, folks, when you're doing all of this, you would know these things further ahead of time. Okay, so right. Let's see if it can find the episode board, the episode progress board. Ask if it can find the episode progress board in our Notion.
All right. It is thinking. Deep action is going. We're using up them credits. Not that bad, though. Not that expensive. Navigate through the high-tech podcast Notion workspace to locate the episode progress. Check the current tabs. Start with extract and analyze the dashboard content. Ugh. Navigate through available pages, menus, and sections. You know, when I get my tinfoil hat on, folks, it's just because I don't trust random companies. Like, Fellou may be perfectly fine. Step 2 may be safe. My information may be, fine.
Yeah.
It could also not be. I have no idea. Okay, navigate through. Search for if found, if not found. Okay, just going through everything. Let's run it.
Now, all of you might be thinking, Josh, couldn't you just do this yourself and we wouldn't have to wait for it to do this? You are correct. We could do this myself. But that's
less fun.
What I am testing right now is I want to see if it can find the information. Because eventually, if you set all this up that it knows how to get to this place, you can eventually just start asking the assistant to do things for you on it that you wouldn't have to do while you do it. Like
right.
I've like a larger picture, but I want to see if it knows how to get there. Hey, you completed your first task. I don't know how you completed your first task. But that seems
it didn't get to a part. It didn't get to a step where it couldn't do the task. This is terrifying. I don't know what we're looking at. What is this code-ish looking page that's right in front of us? Right variable value board, content, blah, 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 variable storage. Okay. So what's the answer? It located, I have successfully found and analyzed the episode progress board in high-tech podcast Notion workspace. Here's the comprehensive report. Here's the exact URL to it. Great. Here's the episode board. Here's our progress on episodes. Here's available views and tabs. Here's ideas. There's 26 episodes in the ideas. There's 2. Wow. That's actually true. Holy smokes.
Yeah, so it's reading stuff.
There is 0 in editing and titling. There's 1 in ready for recording, which is this episode currently. There's 2 in outlining. There's 2 in developing message. Wow. Folks, if you want a little preview of what we're thinking about, here's some current episodes in progress. It's telling us all the 4 features we are using. So it's a Kanban style progress tracker. It's got multiple views. This is a lot. Wow. It has us on lock. And that took 43 seconds to accomplish that task. So now that it has found the high-tech podcast episode board, what do we want to do with that? Should we change like the date that this episode was recorded, for instance?
So let's just ask it to do this. ask it to move the top 3 ideas into developing message and place recording dates on them that are not current. Place, like 2026 recording dates on them. The next 3 2026 recording dates on them. I'm trying to think about how specific to be here. And
I gotta know that date myself. So it starts with January 6th to 13th to 23rd. Okay, starting.
Side note: after we do this, I have a really but a deep thing to show on Comet. While we were doing all this, I may have taught Comet how to go to Claude and do our video descriptions. So Perplexity is going to a different AI. I would never actually do this in real life. I would just use Perplexity, but I wanted like a task I knew it could go to the web
browser.
Yeah, it was, and it's we'll redo it because it was a fun time.
Okay, so we've given it the task. We've said, from our ideas list, which we have 26 ideas in it. We've said move the top 3 ideas into developing message, which is the next column over, and and then place the recording dates on them starting on January 6th through the following 2 Tuesdays, which would be January 13th and then 19th.
Well, in this case, I'm not even sure you had to be that specific, because in theory, if it can read everything, it should be able to read dates that aren't taken on the other episode. Like, we could have told it to look at the other episodes to see what dates are available.
I do like this, Josh. It has stopped each time here, and it's told me, which I think this is an important part of human.
Yeah, this is
loop,
cool.
right?
I really like this.
It's told me all the steps it's planning to take. Step 1, it's going to switch to the tab with this, which is the tab that's open. It's going to locate the progress board. It's going to take all these the steps, and then it's going to set all these things. So I have the chance as the human to say, oh, no, step 5 is wrong, or step 8 is wrong, whatever, right? And I can prevent an issue before I tell it to run. So I'm going to read these, unless you've read them. Let's see.
I was reading through them. I mean, they generally seem like they're the right things. I think we just hit run and see what happens, because personally, I want to use like a not careful user and see what actually ends up happening. I do like this though. Comet does not do this.
Okay.
From what I've experienced, it has not been telling me its steps it's going to do. Sometimes it will stop to ask me steps. I do find it very interesting how all of these browsers show that they're using the thing. Like yours turns into like this like weird.
What is this page?
I don't even know what this is. Like the Comet one, this weird, like, I'll show you guys in a second. On the Comet one, there's like this weird magic aura that goes over my browser page when it's using it. It's like a wild experience.
That's amazing.
So, like, okay, practical, let's talk through this, right? Because Will and I, when we planned this episode, there were 2 things running through our minds. One, we wanted to learn more about these. We were hoping to do it before the episode, but I think this is more fun to watch us experience it live as we're doing it. But 2, we wanted to beg a question, which is like, Will and I weren't entirely sure we were bought in yet on these things. Because I was like, so example, right? This is cool, but like I use Notion AI all the time. I have Notion AI assistant that I use. And so like that's constantly doing stuff in Notion for me. And so I was trying to think through in the browser side, like what would I have it do for me? Now, I have to be honest, as we're doing some of this, I'm realizing like, does this mean I could have it build things in Canvas? Like, could I be having this like building course content for me? Or like, could we get it to create databases in Notion? You know what I mean? Like, is there, because I can do that with Notion AI, but one of the things that's limiting about Notion AI is it's just in the Notion space that I'm in. Now, I live in that thing, so it's fine. It does so much, but like this could act as you in multiple different tools. So I don't know. My initial thought when we were talking about all these AI browser stuff is I wasn't totally sold on the concept, but now I'm kind of intrigued with the way that this could be used. Because like some of the examples Will and I are doing right now, it's like, okay, yeah, I could just do this myself in a couple seconds. But like, let's talk for a second about all the different tasks that I have, right? So like, if I'm any given day, I might be like having to build something over here or find some information over there or like dig through things. And if I get an AI agent in a browser set up well enough, I could have it do multiple things for me all at once.
Right.
Get kind of broadening out the scope of what I can do. Right. And how I do it. Well,
I'm actually also thankful
to some of this.
I'm thankful that they started with the Twitter example, as while that failed for us live, right? That's a need for us that would be so great, right? Chris runs our social, and he's the best. He's so kind. He's a big supporter of the podcast. But like life's life, right? So we don't get an episode out every week. We don't get a video or a comment, or you know what I mean? Like there's delays, and sometimes it's like 2 or 3 at a time. Totally fine. It's great. But what if I could work with my browser and just sign on, every day in the morning, and be like, hey, post a new video to Instagram. And I'd have to have those videos. I'd have to maybe it's just in a Google Drive folder or something, right? So I keep 5 locked up, in a Google Drive folder every day. And so it's like, wake up Monday, post this video. Wake up Tuesday, post this video. Wake up, and frankly, I don't have to take the effort. I don't have to tag people, whatever. We build into the parameters that it should always tag the High Tech Podcast. It should always tag, a name if it's referenced in the transcript or something. Like there's things we could build into a bot like that to do social media for us that would be just like click of a button. So it's shown us today, sync up to Twitter, sync up to Instagram, sync up to Reddit, and it could take those actions on our behalf. What would it mean to get that done? That's the kind of the point you were just referencing. Like, if I want those videos to be posted, those videos have to be somewhere it can get to them. If I want it to use specific information or specific instructions, I have to build that into it somewhere. We haven't seen exactly yet what it would look like to make instructions or make this as agentic as it could be by giving it a social media parameter, right? But it's all very possible. What's interesting to me, though, so that's not necessarily vamping. We're just trying to play this out live. I told it to take action at least 2 minutes ago on these Notion things, and it is still cooking. Holy smokes.
Computing. Now, I don't know what we didn't tell
And it's burning credits.
Yeah, you're like... So here's the one thing about Fellou. It is more professional already, I can tell you, than what Comet's doing, but it is not cheap. This was one of Will and I's reactions on Fellou. We'll link to Fellou's website on here, right. But Fellou is pretty expensive. Like, it's pricey enough that, I'll be honest, I can't get Fellou. Like, I'm not going to be able to afford Fellou for what I'd want to be able to do with it.
When I'd have to buy, it's telling me how many credits it's used. We started, I think, with 2,000. That's a pretty safe assessment. I think that was what it was. And it's like 20 or 50 bucks. They're not saying like, hey, buy 100 credits for $1. No, like, oh, and it's stuck. I'm stuck trying to set the recording date for the first episode. The date picker seems to be causing issues with my browser. Could you help me either close this date picker dialog so I can continue, or manually set the first episode's recording date? Let's see. Jump to live. And okay, yep, here it is.
Jump. Okay.
It has it open. So I'm gonna do the manual.
That's a Monday.
New Claude skill video. All right. Oh, it's the wrong year.
Oh, it's in 2025.
That's interesting.
So also, we didn't. Did we specify 2026?
No, we didn't.
That might be why it's confused.
It just assumed. Let's do this. Can I do that? There we go. Hit that and good. Okay, I did this action, so I'm going to tell it done. And it's probably going to go through the same process. Now still with... Oh my gosh, it just burnt another 200 credits. Once I did that, now it's switching to going to the next task. Like, this is... Frankly, this is going to spend our effort with Fellou for the episode. Like, well, as soon as this is done, or maybe even now, we'll just switch off of this. Like, it burnt like already, I think, 800 credits to just do one task, and it's going to try and get through the second task here, which is the second episode idea, and that'll probably bring us down to like another 400 or something credits. So this is novel, folks. I hope you're seeing that this is practical already. It's doing stuff, right? It's an expensive thing to do. That's wild. It's literally opening the browser in front of us.
There's so much stuff happening right now.
It's so cool, and yet so terrifying.
Oh, there's the... And this is the thing. Switching. It literally browses like you are browsing, right? So like it's seeing action. Like
my hands are up.
This is very interesting. We're going to definitely have to clean up whatever the heck happens after this is over in Notion. But it did properly notice it did move the episode status correctly.
Yeah, and I love. Here we go. We got to the text browser. It's even maybe going to try and search for January. I'm curious if it's going to do that. Clicking on the recording date field to set it to January 13th, which is correct. That would be the next date, except it's the wrong year. But I think it's going to get stuck at this, and then we'll stop with Fellou, because we're not gonna have any credits left, and also we've proven it can do what it can do. So it's up to whether or not you want to find and invest in these kinds of efforts to do it yourself. It can't click the next month button. That's where it's getting stuck here. So I'm gonna stop this.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wrap up on this screen share. But folks, I'll show this briefly. Coming back to their front page, this is the default. Fellou wants to get you involved. They want to tell you how it works. They've got a quick little index here to get you through the information and what's possible with it. I like that they're giving you an example of LinkedIn, Google Calendar, Amazon, Gmail, right? They're demonstrating it can take action for you on your behalf for social media, purchasing, personal information, et cetera, et cetera. So it's up to whether or not you trust it and if you're willing to pay for it. Yeah. I assume that this is a daily credits kind of thing or something. Like, I bet
it might not be. They were expensive for Fellou.
Yeah.
Like I looked into it. I think my initial reaction right off of this is, if you're curious about, I would encourage, I think AI browsers is kind of the next stage for people who are curious about playing with AI. I think there's a lot of potential to the AI browser situation. I think they're definitely still the earlier space. So I don't know. I would encourage spending a ton of money on Fellou right now, because they're not quite there yet. And some of it's going to take a lot of exploration. Like Will and I are just exploring right now. We'll probably end up coming back to this topic later, and give a little bit of a better understanding. Okay, so this is very interesting. Okay, so but I think this is still one of those kind of early AI tools. Like,
it's not going to get cheaper, I bet.
Yeah, they've only started to really become more popular recently, in my opinion. Yeah. I started hearing about them a couple months ago, and I'm starting to see more people looking into them. Now, I will say this. Let's do this. Stop sharing for a second on Fellou, because I think I have interestingly enough, while we wanted to focus on Fellou, I think I have some good use cases for Comet. Comet is cheaper. It's just based on how you pay for Perplexity, because it's based on Perplexity's AI model. Fellou is a different thing. So now Fellou did more like task description than what I'm seeing already from using Comet. I've been kind of playing with it on the side while Will has been doing his stuff. But I found some very interesting immediate use cases, Will. So Perplexity, when you have Comet, first of all, you'll be introduced to like a video game style space music and have to pick your planet. Just a warning. I got past that part. But it's Chromium based browser, right? So it did import all of my bookmarks and stuff, which was super cool. But so that got pulled all over. So I don't currently pay for Perplexity. I use Claude. And I did joke that I used it to access Claude, which it is a thing. But then it led me into something more interesting. Okay, so I'm going to open up here, Will, the assistant. Okay, so this is the same thing, kind of what Will is using. You have a couple different options. Like in Chrome, when you'd open it, much like where it just opens up Google, Perplexity is just going to open up Perplexity, right? So, but then you can open up the assistant, and the assistant's actually something you can ask to go do things for you, right? So here's the interesting, let's talk through a real task for a second, okay? Which I've already shortened so much by using Claude. But so creating the video descriptions, I get the transcript from Will, or not anymore. Actually, I downloaded from YouTube. That used to be the old process. Now I downloaded from YouTube. I throw in a template text that I have, and then using the high-tech podcast writing style, I have it draft a video description for the video that's there. Okay. That's generally how this works. Okay. Now that doesn't take that long. But I do have to do a bunch of steps. Now, what if I didn't have to do that? Okay, what if... Will, do we have any videos in the hopper in YouTube right now? Actually, I didn't check this. I should check this.
No, they're all
live. Okay, so this won't be a perfect example, but it will show you what it can do that I discovered. So I'm going to just simply tell it to act...
Retrieve the transcript.
As me. Find the most recent episode of the high-tech podcast on YouTube using the other video descriptions. Well, no, let's do this. Watch the video and give me a 3-sentence, because I can't spell sentence. Sentence.
And then fix this word for
summary. Ready, folks? Let's go on a journey.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
So this is what happens when Comet's using your thing. This weird mystical blue thing happens. It starts doing things, but like
it's got the vignette.
It's got like a vignette to it. But like this is crazy in my opinion. It's finding the video right now, right? So it's looking on YouTube as me. Okay. Now let's see if it gets to the right video. I forget what I told it to do. Most recent episode. So I was smart enough. Okay. So it found the most recent episode. And now it's watching the video. So what you don't see here, because I've figured this out now, is when I was testing this while Will was figuring out a few things, all of a sudden our video started playing in the background of my computer, and I was confused why. It was because Claude was watching it. Like it was watching the video and scrubbing through the video.
What?
So then I get this, right? So it's scrubbed through the video. The most recent episode, high-tech podcast episode 224, explores how AI might replace various jobs in humorous and dystopian scenarios.
Wow.
Starting with baseball players, the progression of substitute teachers. This is stuff that's beyond the description. So this is finding things in the video. Now, it's probably looking at chapters as well. We have chapters. But and progressing substitute, the host Josh and Will, along with guest Stephen Miletto, discuss both realistic and comedic possibilities, such as replacing baseball umpires with AI systems or creating dystopian substitute teacher rooms where an AI personality controls the classroom and monitors student behavior. That is all reality. Throughout the episode, not reality now, it's what we talked about. Throughout the episode, they emphasize while AI could theoretically handle many routine mathematical tasks, jobs requiring human creativity, emotional connection, and personalized teaching cannot and should not be replaced by AI systems.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Now let's do this. Can you find me a part of the video where they talk about AI not replacing humans, and pause it starting at that clip?
The fact that it's scanning the video, and I understand it's using probably the subtitles or something to that effect.
It is. It accessed subtitles. It was telling me it was accessing the transcripts and subtitles.
But like autonomously, this is amazing that it's interacting.
So now if I was logged
content
in with our YouTube account, in theory, I could ask it to go find the transcript for me.
Right.
And do all the work I normally do uploading into Claude. I wouldn't even have to do any of that. I could just tell it to go look at the video and create a video title and summary, and then also tell it to add that video title and summary in there. In theory.
Well, your work just got easier every week.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. This test, I'll be honest, listeners, I'm probably going to end up subscribing to Perplexity just to test this out a lot more. Because I think I have some real thoughts on how this can end up getting used.
It's giving you the timestamp. It's still working. Oh no, it changed its mind. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. 33,
so
42.
Pause me at the point. Let's see if we can do this. Can you grab me a share link that starts at this exact point in the video?
Wow.
Oh, I've hit my limit. Oops. I'm in free. I'm in free version, folks. We're just testing free versions. So,
that's awesome.
I think my overall summary is this. I wasn't sure if this video was going to win me over to testing it. I think it's worth exploring more, Will. To be honest, I have some thoughts on how this could end up getting used more. Both for the podcast, I think, and in general though, just like work stuff. Like I'm thinking out of this, like, think of all the stuff we do in Notion to like plan out episodes and stuff and move stuff around. I think we could eventually get it to being able to do stuff like that. And it can access. So what I experienced with Comet was that once I logged in and accessed the tab, from then on it knew how to get into it. So I'm pretty sure I can get it to like go into Canvas and edit things. Like, so like if that's the case, like, I'm not going to test that here because of proprietary things on Canvas.
But you could say, go into this course. Like this is a common issue. I don't know if y'all have solved for this, but back in the day when I was doing this, like this is a common issue, right? If you're resetting a course every 6 weeks or something, one of the most tedious tasks and most annoying tasks in that process is changing all the due dates, right? And so again, you may have already solved for this separately. I don't know, I don't care. But like, just imagine that task. If you've ever reset an online course, you hate it. Just tell this to do it. Hey, my courses run on these 6 weeks periods. This is when it starts. This is when it ends. Here's the last course that ran. Apply those dates to the next course.
Yeah.
And accommodate for any holidays, like, flag if there's a holiday or something that's different and let me know before you make all the changes, right? And so then it should be able to take all that action for you and change all those due dates with the click of a button. That'd be phenomenal. That's an easy, simple, monotonous thing. And then you can think through like, a term change. Like, go through this entire course and change the word cheeseburger to hamburger. Go through this entire course and remove any reference to the professor's name. Like, stuff like that, where it's like, it could just do all of that action for you and it's done.
Yeah, and we have figured out some of that stuff. Side note, on our team, that's all automated. But there's a reality of that, like, where, like, an immediate use case I have is, right, there are times when we have to go and find terminology across all these courses, right? Like, or like anybody listening who deals with like marketing, project management, any of that type of stuff, there's times where you have to find certain topics across like giant projects or giant products like websites because something changed, right? Like every reference to the high tech podcast changed to the Will and Josh Gumbo podcast. I don't know, whatever. Like those terms changed across the, so you have to go change all of them. It's a pain in the butt for us to find those things across entire sites and like note them. And so like, I think this could be a very interesting case of where you could see an AI browser very quickly able to find all of those things and then also provide for you all the links to where everything is so that you could just pull that link out. And then honestly, you could probably ask it to go change it. Based on what I'm experiencing with Comet, I could probably ask it to go in and edit those pages, because it seems some of the tasks that it gets stuck on, you're able to teach it how to do it eventually by like clicking into it. So
what I'm picking up here is two things. One is very quickly, like, this would be valuable for us. Like, is it worth the cost? But like, I'm just thinking, we were before this episode talking about some changes to our website. Wouldn't it be great to just turn to the browser and be like, hey, add these 2 or 3 things to the website, take these things off, switch this around, and it just goes and does it, right? Because it's in Notion.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. But that aside, one of the things that stood out to me and watching it act, right? Watching Fellou move through things and you see its little mouse kind of goes on screen and stuff. Mm-hmm. What that says to me is they've worked out, I could be wrong, but what they've worked out is a way for the agent to take action without an API, right? So when you think about middleware, very common examples right now are Workato, Zapier, Power Automate in the Microsoft suite, et cetera. Those middleware software depend on typically APIs, right? So there's got to be something, an endpoint in these platforms that it calls to. An issue I run into all the time trying to use APIs is the platform doesn't have one. Example, my LMS. I can use an API to create courses, but I can't use an API to edit courses. That's a bad example. I can do that, but let's just say, right, there's an endpoint to create, but there's not an endpoint to edit. This solves that problem because it's not calling an endpoint. We watched it open up the website and click around the website for us. It's somehow actually navigating the graphical user interface and taking action on my behalf.
Yeah,
it's not like, making an API call.
Yeah, to me it feels like what you do when you remote into somebody. Like it's literally just doing it, which would make sense. I mean, a lot of agentic, like Google GPT's agent tools, like if you ever use them, they're not browser based. As far as I know, I don't think OpenAI has a current AI browser specifically. Sure. But whenever you do that, it opens, essentially that agent's opening a virtual desktop somewhere and doing it. I mean, that's what's happening. You can see it doing it. So all they've done is they brought that into the browser itself, which that's the upside and downside, right? The thing that Will and I have talked about with this is that by doing this, you are giving it access to everything you log in with. Right. So that's where they're getting by it. Right. Is they're getting by it by being able to access the active browsers you're on or basically use the browser like you're using it. And so like that's how they've gotten it. Now that's the layman's term for it, because Will and I are not the technical people. We don't actually know. I'm sure there's like a crazy amount of work that's gone through to be able to do this, right? But I think that's why, in my opinion, so far, the potential with AI browser is those of you listening to the podcast who want to do some of the stuff that like Will's team, like teams that Will and I have been on that have used like APIs to go do a whole bunch of stuff with. For the individual, the AI browser can become a way to kind of more centralize your AI usage across multiple platforms instead of being stuck in one, or instead of always having to go, like, for instance, if I'm doing reports and stuff in GPT, right? Like I end up having to download stuff out of one thing and I put it into GPT. Like, yes, I could create connectors. You can do all of that stuff. But then again, you're still just connecting into a specific area. Right. This browser solution seems to allow you to connect into slightly more things, which is definitely interesting. I think it's a question of, I think it's not quite fully baked yet based on what Will saw with Fellou. I think, which makes sense, right? I will comment on, if you use Chrome now has Gemini in the corner. It does some of this. So I will say, in my experiments with Gemini, if I'm wrong and somebody has seen this somewhere else, please let us know in inbox@hightechpod.us. But I have not seen it able to do the agent level stuff that Comet and Fellou was just doing. It looks like it's mainly just able to tell me what's on browser pages. It's not actually able to go act as me, which is where I think the real power is. Finding information across my open tabs, who cares? Like, I have to be honest, that doesn't excite me that much, mainly because I'm not one of those monsters that has 18 billion tabs open.
Good.
Like,
I knew you were a good man.
Yeah. Like, that excites me in Notion. I've used that a ton. My AI assistant finds things in Notion all over the place. But like, actually being able to go do things across multiple sites might allow you to better connect your tech stack in ways for smaller teams or individuals that has maybe been unreachable before. This is where Will and I get excited about some AI stuff, because I feel like it can help smaller groups of people. Like, if you're listening to this, you're a nonprofit, or you're listening to this and you're a smaller team and you don't have access to a lot of the resources Will and I have talked about in the podcast over the years. I think there's some potential down the road that these types of AI browsers could help you kind of get caught up in those areas in your tech stack. I think it's a question, the security question and the access and kind of big brotherness of them. Yeah. Still, I'm a little weary of, but not enough that I probably won't be playing with Comet more. I got to be honest. It's kind of cool. So
they got him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So on that note, folks, we will post links to both of these tools. I hope. Thanks for bearing with us in this episode. It was a little bit more exploratory. Thank you, Will, future Will, to whatever editing you did to bring this together. But you can check those both out. Like we said, Fellou is much more expensive. Comet's probably more accessible for you to play with for free. So you can check that out. That's Perplexity's version. There's other versions out there too. You can just look up AI browsers and some other ones have them, but these are the two that I've heard some of the best things about. So you can check those out. On our webpage, we will link to all of those fun things there. So just a reminder, you can find us on Twitter or YouTube or all the socials. Really, it's called X now. I'll give in. Okay, it's basically just called X. Reddit, go check out Reddit. Will's over there, as we talked about. You can find us at either at High Tech Podcast or at High Tech Pod. Look that up. You'll find us, I promise, someday. Email, you can email us at inbox@hightechpod.us. If you listen to this episode and you know way more about AI browsers than Will and I do, and you listen to this and you were like, you guys are wrong on these several fronts, or you're like, ooh, you missed this one thing, that's okay. Come email us at inbox@hightechpod.us and come on the episode and talk about it, because Will and I are not experts. We're just playing around right now. So
Fellou, Perplexity, we're looking at you.
Yeah, if you guys have some thoughts you want to share with the High Tech Pod people, I don't know. We haven't really labeled fans of the High Tech Podcast at this point.
It seems dangerous. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen live. So you can email us at inbox@hightechpod.us, and a reminder, our website is hightechpod.us. You can find links to both of these tools that we just talked about, and as well as some of our notes and fun things on the episodes. So, all right, folks, another wrap on another week. Empowering minds,
embracing tech. Cheers.
Buckle